What's up, nerds? Back with another video, another shooting vlog, except instead of just, the shotgun ASMR that I was uploading for a while, this one is a, explanation of shooting video. You can see the clays a little bit in the background. You've got to kind of like be looking for them, but I didn't do the zoom in of the clays because I wanted to do more the positioning of the gun, the way that I'm standing, the tracking of the clays, different leads and whatnot. So in this one, we've got a clay coming from the right to the left, and you could see me follow it. And then we've got a clay going up and above, and you could see how I follow the gun down. I actually had a bad station, so I took my mulligan. For us in our group, we do one mulligan per round because we just shoot for fun, and we're just shooting with all of us, so it doesn't really matter, and plus I don't take show pairs, so there's 18 stations, 2 show pairs, so I have 36 free shots, and taking one 2 pair out of that is no big deal. But anyway, so now let's get into the shooting commentary specifically. So on this station, we've got a right to left and then a left to right that are pretty quick. And so you can see how I move the gun, and the goal is to stay in front of the shell because the shell is obviously moving outwards. And if I have my gun barrel directly on top of the shell, I will end up being behind it. This is another great example. We've got a right to left shell or clay, and I missed that one, and then you can't see the second because it is on the left and my head is blocking. Again, this is just a tripod. I don't exactly have someone to help me film all of these. It's just something that I'm experimenting in, new kind of area I'm breaking into. But so you can see how I start with my gun a little bit almost in the trees. You can't see the trees as much because it's wintertime. Obviously, you could tell by my jacket and my gloves and my scarf and everything. But I'm keeping my gun almost, exactly in the trees and then bringing it out. And I actually railed that one. It was a real good one. And that's because I'm continuing to move the gun. That's going to be something that is a common advice, throughout this whole movie or throughout this whole video. The big time is moving the gun and following the clay. For me personally, it's a little bit different than traditional shooting because for me, I come from, the world of video games, obviously, violent video games, first-person shooters, right? But that hand-eye coordination and that kind of first-person crosshair type of game, whether it's CSGO, Destiny, the finals, Call of Duty, whatever it is that's your poison, pick your poison. Many of us have a fairly good sense of where the middle of where the middle of our screen is and where that crosshair placement is and where we want to move the mouse to have it be, on center. And so for me, I shoot with both eyes open. There are some people that shoot with one eye open, and there are some people that shoot with something to blur. They shoot with both eyes open, but they shoot with something to blur their dominant eye if it's the opposite of what they shoot. So like, for example, me shooting righty like this, if someone was left eye dominant, they would have something to blur their left eye to make their right eye focus more heavily. This is another station where the second shot is behind me, or I'm sorry, in front of me. I'm behind it, and you can't see it because of the camera. This was just a terrible station. This clay on the left is coming in pretty fast. We're actually on the second level of this stand. There's a first level that you could shoot it from. But it is just a brutal, brutal shot. The window to connect is very small, and it's just tough. But the first clay is coming left to right, coming out, blasted it again. You can see all the tiny little, splashes. But here's a good one that you could actually, if you wanted to see the birds a little bit, you could see them coming over the hill. And this is another good one, or this is a good one to talk about positioning and talk about where the body is, talk about where, my gun is, talking about the mounting position, because this is one where I shoot this one SIMO, even though it's a report pair. And that means both of them come out at the same time, and you're going to be shooting not with a whole lot of time. And I am shooting a 12 gauge, and so there is a decent amount of kick behind it. And obviously I'm not like a small guy. So, if you need to, help mitigate the kick, and, obviously having that additional weight behind me helps mitigate that kick. But, you do have to, and this is another similar one. They call this the Luke lean, because I'm leaning on the station on the left side. And that's because these two shots line up fairly well. But they also are pretty close together. So you need to make sure that you're able to bring the gun back down and not not have it, fly out everywhere because of the kick. And that's something that, I think is between that kick mitigation and the crosshair placement, like the kind of, understanding where, shooting with both eyes open. I think that's what makes me a, decent shooter. I'd say I'm extremely slightly above average. Not really. I'm not like I'm an experienced shooter for sure. I have a lot of experience, but I'm not a advanced shooter yet. There's multiple techniques that I still need to improve upon before I can, confidently say I'm at that level. That's my phone going off in the background. Sorry about that. But so this is a great example of keeping the gun moving. You could see the clay, boom, following the clay, and then again on the other one, you've got to follow the clay. So you've got a left to right that's rather close, and then you've got a right to left that's rather close coming out first, and then you've got a left to right coming out more, double the distance away. And so you could see how, boom, keep my gun moving. And so here's go, boom, boom, boom. You can see how my gun is still moving even after it comes off of my shoulder. And that's like something, and this is a big time. I only got one, I forgot to record, so I only got one video for this, but this is a big one. Left to right, far away, quick moving. Need to focus on keeping the gun moving. And if you can, and one of the reasons why I think I'm, I guess the third reason that I, am a above average shooter, not by a lot, but is so the combination of shooting with my eyes open, understanding where that crosshair is, being able to control the kick. I mean, you can see in this, my shooting position is significant. I've got a nice lean forward. You can't see my legs, but my legs have a nice spread, underneath I would say my legs are shoulder width apart. I've got a nice lean forward, and you could see the kick that I have. It pushes me back a little bit for sure, 12 gauge shotgun, but my gun stays within the same level, the same plane, I should say, or doesn't deviate far from that plane. And then the third thing would be I had it and then I lost it because I was explaining the first two. So it was, the following of the gun, being able to visualize the track that the clay is going to be traveling upon. I'm able to visualize, and I don't take the show pair as much during these videos. I very occasionally take the show pair, but being able to visualize that the path the clay is on, or if you take the show pair, being able to remember and place the gun, because so you'll see on this one, you won't be able to see the clays as much, but so it's not so much the first clay. So here it comes, first clay, boom, but watch the second clay, boom. See how fast and how quickly my gun moved when the clay came out? I mean, you might not have been able to see the clay, but you could see from my back how much my body moved. And that's because I have a great not great, but I have a strong visualization of where the clay is going to travel, the path that it's going to be on, and I set myself up for success. So obviously, I am using the 12 gauge. 12 gauge has more gunpowder in it, more BBs in it, so it makes it easier to hit clays because I have a bigger round. If I was using a 20 gauge or smaller, it would be significantly harder to hit because I need to have better aim. It's a smaller round that I'm shooting, but I utilize some of that. That's all stuff. It's not like it's illegal to shoot a 12 gauge. I mean, people shoot 12 gauges in the Olympics. People shoot 12 gauges all the time. The main difference that people shoot 20 gauges is because of they're lighter, a little bit older people. You don't want to have the crazy kick. You don't want to be injuring yourself. You want to shoot consistently, and But so anyway, sorry, that's my bunny rabbit sneezing. So now this one, go back to the actual what's shooting in front of us. So this is a Simo pair where the two of them are extremely close, and this is big time. I mean, you could see where you need to really be able to control the kick and control the, kickback, control the gun, have a strong shooting position, because watch, ready, boom, boom. I mean, a little bit farther apart on that last one, but the second pair during that was, like boom, boom. And you really need to be able to have a strong base, really have an athletic stance when shooting to be able to absorb that impact, to be able to shoot quickly following the next, clay. So this one is you can't see it when it's coming in, but you can see the movement of myself. So the first clay is coming from far away all the way in, and it is a big time. You need to focus on the lead on that, and it's tough to see. I might do a side angle the next time I do this do this tracking experiment, where you could see my following it all the way down, and so now you see this one, boom. So I'm tracking it with my eyes, and then I follow. I've got my eyes and my gun close together, but I'm tracking more with my eyes, and then boom, I have my gun line up with the eyes, with my center crosshair, and then blast it. So this is another Simo pair, tough to see. We'll see how my back moves on this. So I've got the left one I'm shooting first, and then I go over to the right one. So let's see, boom, bring the gun up, boom, and then the second one is right along that same line following it. So something that you'll be able to notice from the back is, so you'll see when I shoot. I mean, obviously you see the kick, but you could see the movement from where I start to move, and then bam, right after. Well, so that wasn't a bam right there. I waited for a while. And you saw a little bit of the barrel movement on that. So I position myself. I've got my head in the position, and then my barrel follows up and takes the shot. So here we go. We got one in the back, chasing down, bam. Have the gun up, boom, bam. And so there's kind of a few things, three big things to focus on. Obviously you've got the recoil kickback control, you've got the visualization, you've got a, strong stance, and then you've got, just tracking. Sorry again for the phone going off. And here's the last station of the day. We've got a left to right moving pretty quick, and then a right incomer. And so we'll see how this one looks. But that was today's little shooting video. I love shooting. It's essentially golf with guns for me. I mean, there's no flag to hit, obviously. But you go to every station. You've got your little, your amount of shots you shoot. It's a fun experiment in visualization. It's a, fun, for me, fun, tracking. Obviously, when you blast the shells, it's satisfying to have the, explosion of them. But yeah, thanks for watching. And don't forget to smoke grass, eat ass, and be excellent to each other. I will see you in the next video.
Comment, get absurd, subscribe if you had some fun. We drop bangers one by one.